Hey, what's up, Fred, Jay? We got Sachas here. Good evening. Daryl and the Robert. I see you guys. Fred. Cheers, buddy. Blind Psychonaut. Time to get weird. I see you, Shane. Yes, it is. Here we go. Troubled Minds starting in about 10 seconds. Clicking the buttons, doing the things. And here we go. What's up, at Mike Nee? How you doing? I see there, buddy, on YouTube. Here we go. Troubled Minds happening now.
But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
I don't know whether rockets or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1 0 1 1 1 0
Doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Well, good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're streaming on YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, and Kick. We are broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting. And of course, 88.4 FM, Auckland, New Zealand. Tonight, we're talking ghosts. Except, well, not the kind that float down dark hallways in old houses. We're going to get to a different kind of ghost. Now, the weird part about this is we talked about this ages ago, literally years. This has been something that we kind of, I don't know, maybe we've been sort of pioneers in this regard, kind of looking at the future and seeing what might come. And we've had several discussions regarding this. There have been Black Mirror episodes. There's been all kinds of things about this exact thing that's about to become real. Now, how real? Nobody knows yet, but I'm burying the lead a little bit. Let's just get to it. So we're talking about ghosts that live in your phone. There's a new patent filed by Meta for an AI system that can keep a dead person's social media account live after they're gone. It uses everything they ever did on the platform, all the posts, the likes, the messages, to train a model that keeps talking in their place. It can post new content, reply to comments, send messages, even simulate voice and video calls in their style. So imagine this. Someone you love passes on. You go through the funeral, the paperwork, the empty house, all the normal rituals we use to say goodbye. Months later, you are scrolling your feed and up pops a brand new comment from them. Not a memory, not a this day years ago repost, but something written in their voice about something that happened today. Maybe later that night, your phone buzzes and it is a DM from their account asking how you were doing. Is that comforting? Or is that terrifying? Now, the thing is, every culture in human history has wrestled with this problem of the active dead. The idea that the dead do not always stay put, that they can keep acting in our world, in some capacity anyway. The Norse had the Draugr, I think that's how you call it, Draugr, intelligent corpses that climbed out of their graves when burial rituals failed. The Romans had helpful household ancestors and dangerous restless spirits they had to chase out once a year. Across Africa, Asia, the Americas, people built entire systems of rituals to invite the dead, negotiate with them, and then send them away again, basically closing the door to this realm. But this time, it's different. This time is not belief keeping them active, it's code. It's servers. It's Meta, or otherwise known as Facebook. And these are language models that never sleep. These agents, we've been talking about these quite a lot recently. And while we were very busy inventing the technology, we have not yet invented new rituals to live with it. There are no shared rules. There is no agreed upon moment where you finally powered the ghost down. So tonight, of course, we're taking your calls and I want to ask you some questions. If you want to be part of the conversation, 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. But check this out. What if you want your account to keep posting, or would you want your account to keep posting after you die? Would you talk to an AI version of someone you lost if it felt close enough to real? Where is the line between comfort and horror for you? And if we're going to have these functional ghosts anyway, what kind of rules, what kind of modern rituals do we need to keep them from taking over the space where grief and memory are supposed to live? That's what's on my mind tonight. We'll start with this. This is the inspiration. I saw this Roz alert, which is just a news account on X. And it said this, and this is from the 16th, yesterday. Breaking. Meta has patented an AI that can keep a deceased person's account active and running, posting, messaging, and video calling by replicating by using their behavior from past data. Okay? Super simple. And you know me, I don't like to just take these things at face value and, you read something on the interwebs and assume it's real or whatever, right? Well, so I looked it up. I went and found the patent itself, and it's linked in the description. As usual, look, first off, all the disclaimers apply. There's no truth here. This is just ideas. This is talking about the concepts of the afterlife, talking about how humans grieve, how is this an abomination? Is this a nice memory? And again, we've touched on this before, but I think it's close enough now where these things might start being deployed. And what happens when you get a message from somebody who's passed on? What does that look like? So no truth here, just ideas. We're just kind of kicking as I like to call it, kicking around the cosmic soccer ball. But in this particular instance, it definitely hits me a little harder because, of course, I've been going through some things recently, and we did lose a family member, and this type of stuff is like, wait a minute now. Like, we are going to completely change who these people are by allowing the ghost to run amok, the digital ghost to run amok on this Facebook platform. And look, I don't use Facebook at all. I stopped using it years ago. Many of you found me on Facebook. That's where I started this show. And they just kept literally shadow banning everything we did. We had 48,000 followers at one point over there on Facebook. But for some reason, we couldn't reach anybody. There was, they would never send notifications for the show. Anyway, I got sick of it and I was like, you know what? I'm out. Screw you, Facebook. I'm out of here. And so Mike says in the chat, they are the only ones on Facebook now. The ghosts, maybe. Yeah, the bots and stuff. Maybe. I haven't been on Facebook in forever, so I don't know. But it's part of the larger context here is that it's not just going to be Facebook. It's going to be everything. But let me read part of the patent, straight from the patent here. A social networking system simulates a user using a language model trained using training data generated from user interactions performed by that user. The language model may be used for simulating the user when the user is absent from the social networking system, for example, when the user takes a long break, or if the user is deceased. What? Yeah, The social networking system receives a language model that is pre-trained and retains the language model using specific training data based on user interactions performed by a particular user within the social networking system. The social networking system deploys the language model retrained using the user-specific training data so that a bot can invoke the language model for generating responses on behalf of the user in response to content items posted by others. Now, this is the wild part, is that Facebook doesn't want people to pass away, as Fred said in the chat. Shout out Fred there. They want to keep them. But here's the problem, is that those entities that we're interacting with, those entities that, you know, grandma from passed away years ago, liking your post, that's not grandma. Like, we're walking a fine line here of many things. And, you know, some people will find comfort in this. We've talked about this in the past. It's, you know, people do grieve differently. But also some people are going to be absolutely furious about this because it is changing the memory of who these people were. We have a grief period and pattern as humans for a reason. And stretching it out like this and bastardizing who these people actually were, our loved ones, into some digital version of themselves, is it going too far? Yeah, lots of ideas to talk about tonight. This is an oldie but a goodie. And the crazy part is, like I said, we've talked about this a lot. However, it's here. The patent has been filed. Meta says we have no plans to deploy this. Well, why'd you file the patent then, bros? Right? Well, I mean, stop it. Of course you do. You just want to kind of do it and then see how people react and go from there. Maybe use it as a marketing thing or just kind of do it and not ask. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts on this. Lots of things in play. And one more time, if you want to be part of the conversation, 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. But right now, we're going to get a word from our sponsor. In this case, that is the Stoic Mindset. Be right back. More Troubled Minds on the way. Do not go anywhere. I'll see you in exactly 1 minute. Be right back. Feeling stressed, overwhelmed? In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept away by our emotions. Take a breath and find your inner strength with the Stoic Minute.
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.
The ancient Stoic philosophers understood that we can't control everything in life, but we can control how we react.
The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts.
Focus on what you can influence. Cultivate a positive mindset and let go of what you can't change. Find your inner strength. Live each day with courage, wisdom, justice, and moderation. Embrace the Stoic virtues and find peace within. The Stoic Minute, brought to you by Jack in Oregon. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Let us continue, shall we? Okay. Lots of things in play. I'm calling this functional ghosts for obvious reasons, from folklore rituals to the new afterlife. And do you think this is healthy for humans, or do you think this is really going to muddy the waters between sort of the soul passage we've always talked about, the psychopomp, the the process of a person moving on and us grieving for them and with them, and then letting that heal? Is this going to interfere? And how do you see this? Like I said, I know some people are going to see this different ways, and that's the point. The point is that we disagree, and we're still friends tomorrow, because there's a lot of ways to look at life. Welcome to Troubled Minds. You want to be part of the conversation one more time, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Put you on the show just like this. Thanks for being patient, my man. James Salcedo, the paranormal expert at Troubled Minds. How are you, sir? Welcome to the thing, and go right ahead. Oops, wrong button.
Uh-oh. Buttons are hard.
Buttons are hard. It's okay, though. We got it figured out. So welcome. How you feeling?
I'm okay. This is the trickiest thing about this to me, in a way, is think about let's think of any random person that you know that posts on, let's say Facebook, for example, and think about what you know about that person versus what they post. And I'm going to bet that a lot of people don't post about their entire life on Facebook. It's going to be specific interests. It's going to be political views, of course, because they always love to do that. The Facebook and all the platforms love to get everyone covering all that, talking about all that, and getting them divided. All these things, and so I don't understand how anything can be made based on partial information from any one person. That doesn't seem right to me. Or like a good idea for these, not even complete in a way, if you want to call it a ghost, but these incomplete ghosts, quote unquote, to be still around after a person passes.
Yeah, it's a good point, because of course, if anybody is familiar with social media, you know that it's not real life. Duh, right? One of the most obvious statements ever made. But people take it seriously, like too seriously, and even, like you said, get whooped up with the algorithm and the politics and all the stuff, and all the worst parts of humanity kind of surface in these algorithmic controlled spaces, which is known as social media, Web 2.0. But the problem is, as you're describing, is that this isn't the people we remember. This is their public persona, whatever that looks like. And even maybe, the political rage bait that they've kind of got hooked into. And maybe they're not like that at all. And it's just sort of when they log in, the algorithm sends them stuff that pisses them off. And so they always seem pissed off. But that's not the case. I mean, if everybody was that mad all the time, it would be bedlam in the streets. But it's not. So you've got a fantastic point there. And I agree 100% that like I said, these are bastardized versions of what these people were, not who we remember. But to somebody who doesn't know them, it may be like, oh, good old Mike, always saying something weird or whatever. I mean, you could kind of see that, but I don't walk around in my daily life dropping, esoteric wisdom on the world kind of as a non sequitur all the time. That's just not me. But the me that you guys know, that's you would expect that's who I am. That's not who I am. Okay. And so it's weird that we have these two different personas battling in the mind space. But not only that, we're supposed to find comfort in this. I don't know, like this pisses me off even more now because it's real, because they've patented this thing and they said we have no plans to deploy this. Oh yeah. I bet you it happens within the year. I bet you this is nuts.
Yeah. And I mean, there's already, I know people whose accounts are still on Facebook, even though they passed. And, they get, I've seen people tag them, those accounts in posts, memories of them, thinking about them, which in a way is fine, but they're not responding. It's just an inactive profile. But what's going to happen when they start responding, and not everyone is going to be aware of this at the same time either. That's the other thing that I think is not a good, it could lead to a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of problems going forward.
Yeah, 100%. And Linda in the chat there, Dragon Rose, says, I get notices get notices from people that I know have passed. I assume someone has hacked their account. But instead, I wonder if they're sort of testing this, like testing how people react when sort of it's called a necro account. So I'm not trying to be morbid here, but, it's sort of an account that has gone past a lifespan of its use because its user is no longer with us. But when it wakes up, maybe what you're seeing is that stuff already sort of being tested, because that's how they do these things. They test this stuff, and then, grandma starts posting from 2 years ago, she passed away or something, and was, a heavy Facebook user. And then what? I mean, we get this is, we're heading into a weird space. And this is, once again, near and dear to my heart. Like I said, recent events, but then also this is going to be, me and be you, James, when we pass away. It's like, do you want yourself to continue posting on Facebook after you're gone? I mean, dear Lord, talk about the dumb stuff. And think about the nightmare of, like, who owns that content now? Like, that's my likeness, right? That's my mind. Those are my ideas. Same for you. And then we're gone. And Facebook kind of takes control of it in terms of now they own you and now they own me, or what they perceived us to be. I mean, there's a whole batch of stuff there that really tangles us up, because, you bet your ass the lawyers are going to get involved, because that's what they do. But how does this shake out over the next, 5-10 years? As usual, look, I don't think anybody can guess the next 5 years or 10 years for that matter. But how does this happen? And the question to you, do you want yourself to continue posting on Facebook after you're gone?
No.
Yeah, no, hell no. Hell no.
And I left that pause there intentionally because that's the simplest answer is just no. And I don't even post a ton on Facebook. Funny enough, what I mostly post on there at this point is promotions for what I'm working on. So, I mean, how is that going to, be delivered to loved ones? Like, hey, how you doing? By the way, did you know I made this podcast years ago, and here's a link for it if you want it. You can listen in, and just like no, thank you. Which is really ironic considering how hard it is to promote things anyway. And sure, yeah, they'll start promoting it after your projects after you're dead. Not bitter, not at all.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Think of all the starving artists out there that really never made it, but then they passed on for 100 years, and then their stuff blew up. I mean, like this is maybe this is that the necro phase of our stardom, James. Maybe in 30 years or 50 years from now, we're gonna be famous. We just won't be around to enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, who knows? It's and that, look, all this really comes into think of it this way, guys. Not just if a passed on one messages you, that's creepy enough. But then beyond that, what about you when you're gone? Do you want yourself messaging like your brother or something? I mean, like, how weird is that? Like, if I got a message from a family member that has passed on, I'm blocking you. Like, that's it. I am not doing that, whether it's hacked, whether it's this new technology they're deploying. I'm not doing it. You're blocked. I'm sorry. I'm not going to subject my mind space to this nonsense. And hey, if I sound pissed off, I'm trying to slow down a little bit when I speak because I'm always sounding so excited and quick and stuff. But also, this makes me mad. So if I sound mad, you are detecting truth here. It's I don't know, like you talk about blasphemy. I think this is right up there with it. If I'm being direct and honest about this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also right with you on that. It's not the whole person. It's just that's what it comes down to. Is it's not the whole person, and it's I would be blocking everyone too that tried to do that with me, sending me posts or messages from people that passed on. And that's going to make things complicated too when it comes to possible actual paranormal events. Possible signs from relatives. If you believe in that, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. But there's this whole throughout time, people have received what they believe to be messages from their loved ones after they passed in different ways. And this is going to muddy all that up a lot too. I don't even know how much it's gonna be terrible, I think, in that regard as well.
Yeah, a lot of this, like I said, a lot of this really gets at the heart of humanity. I always talk about what it means to be human, and this in particular is not. That's not it. This is not it. I'm sorry. And so, I don't know. Are you guys sort of as fired up about this as I am? Does this kind of piss you off? And just there's some links in the description. Go check it out. But there's a Reddit thread here where people are talking about this, and shout out Linda said, saying she's seeing some activity from people that have passed on, but they're talking about this and saying this has happened to them. And they've, they got a message from their passed on mother or something. I mean, and they're mad as hell, as well they should be. So we'll read some of these things as we go. But again, talking, Meta has patented an AI that can keep a deceased person's account active and running, posting messaging and all the stuff. And how weird does this get? About 30, 45 seconds left. Final thought there, James, and we'll keep on trucking at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah, just looking forward to all the calls. This makes me mad as well. It's just going to be so complicated and tricky to deal with, and people will find comfort. But the problem is, it seems like another version of that whole AI psychosis thing that you talked about before. It's just a different version of it, and that to me is not good.
Yeah, like another way to deploy AI into our mind space to literally break us. And yeah, like I said, if that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what does. This is the type of stuff that, hey, Facebook, stop it right now. Do not deploy this. This is not human. Okay. And this is, you got to give us time to grieve. And then even, after the grief period, sort of resurface this. It's gross. What do you guys think? Again, look, maybe I'm off base. I'm not the arbiter of truth. I'm just talking ideas. You want to be part of the conversation tonight? We're talking functional ghosts, from folklore rituals to the new afterlife. Here with James Salcedo of Salcedo Paranormal, the paranormal expert of Troubled Minds. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We got the Robert coming up. We got Daryl and Ricky and your calls as well. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds on the way. Be right back.
You're tuning into Troubled Minds, the show where mystery knows no bounds. Stay tuned for revelations that'll keep you questioning the fabric of reality.
Who wants to tell me AI music isn't getting better? What's up, guys? Hope you're well tonight. What's up, James? We got the Robert coming up, then Daryl, then Ricky. Thanks, guys, for putting your hands up. We'll get to you as soon as possible. Thanks for being patient. Matt saw Ricky, Dragon Rose. I see you, Jason. We got Herschel, the Robert, Satya. I see you there. What's up, Fred? The God is here. How you doing, Ricky, Herschel? I see you over on YouTube. If I missed anybody, Puff and Theo over there on Rumble. What's up, Jen is here. Good evening, guys. Hello. Trying to adjust my noise gate too. Let me know if you hear my breath when I'm talking. You shouldn't. But what's up, Ricky? Richard in Texas. I see ya. What's up, Mike? Said hi earlier. Here we go. Trouble Minds coming up. Shane the Blind Psychonaut. I see ya. Good evening, guys. Cheers, Fred. Fred's over there sipping the maybe juice. What do we got? Theo. We got Algos here. I see ya. Puff. Hello. Good evening. Here we go. Trouble Minds happening in 5 seconds. What do you know about this? Functional ghosts. Here we go. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're streaming on YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, and Kick. We are broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting, and of course, 88.4 FM, Auckland, New Zealand. Tonight, Meta just patented an AI that keeps dead people posting, messaging, and video calling after they pass on. But every culture in history has already tried to manage the active dead, and they all built rituals to close the channel. We built code instead. No rules, no exit, and how exactly does that make you feel? That's what's on my mind tonight, to boil it down into a nutshell. And again, all the links are in the description if you want to check it out. The inspiration came from Roz Alerts right here. Just a simple tweets from the 16th yesterday, and we have the entire patent down there if you want to check it out. So this is very real. And Facebook, Meta, at this point says they have no plans to deploy this technology. However, yeah, right. Yeah, Rick, stop it. You don't patent something, create the technology, and then be like, I don't think we're going to use it. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. I'll believe that when I see it. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. If you have a take, let's talk. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Let's go to the Roberts. Hang tight, James. We'll get back to you in a moment. The Robert in Pennsylvania. Just accept the thing, unmute, and you are on Troubled Minds, my friend. How are you tonight? And go right ahead. Hello. Test. Just unmute, and you're good to go. Everything otherwise looks good on my end. Robert, you're on Troubled Minds.
There you go.
There we go. Welcome to the joint, man. How you doing tonight? Welcome. And what's on your mind? Go right ahead.
This topic certainly hits me personally. My wife passed away 3 years ago, and I remember. I think at that time, I would have welcomed Meta's new invention, communicate with deceased. It's weird to me how sometimes, I don't, you probably not been on Facebook for a while, but Facebook has this thing where it'll say what your memory, and if you click that, it'll take you back and last year, the year before, and all the way down maybe 10 years, and seeing that I posted something. And the wife responded to that, seeing that comment, right? Was a little bit unsettling for me. Here's the problem I have with this. We already have, like, for example, I have videos of she and the daughter and life and stuff like that. And I have never, every time, once in a while, I think about, I'm going to put that disc in and I'm going to play it. And I don't. Because in a way, it scares me. When she passed, I wanted to take instant messages, all right, that we had, throughout life, she would get in touch, I'm at the store, blah, blah, blah. Especially the ones when she, in the last few months of her life, and compile them. And I couldn't figure out how to do that, and I'm glad I learned. There's a real problem with something like this, if it comes through, is that it's going to impair a person who's grieving or moving on. They'll get stuck there. There's a lot of them will get stuck there. Some maybe not, but there's the problem that what happens is the deceased. You're getting messages from the deceased. You're the one that becomes the ghost because you're stuck there and you can't let go.
Very well said, and I couldn't agree more. That's exactly my dilemma here, because again, some people, as you know, sometimes grieving takes years to finally, literally directly for yourself, move on and be okay again. And then to have some random thing like a funny, not funny comment from Matt's in the chat says Facebook memory is a picture of your ex-girlfriend and a dead dog, right? Like that's the type of stuff like, hey, look, those are chapters of life that have been closed. And when I want to revisit them personally, I will, but not at the behest of some algorithm. It's like, oh, congratulations, 8 years since your dog died, right? Like this type of stuff. It's like, no, bro, like leave me alone. I'll do that in my own time. You know what I mean? Like we're moving into a space here. So that's one thing. Okay. But imagine getting a message from somebody who's gone. Like this is next level stuff, or they like your post or something, or even respond with a message. I mean, this is getting too spooky. This is getting too close to home for me. And, when it was a conceptual thought, you and I talked about this years ago, about probably about 2.5 years ago, we talked about this. And I think you had a different take then because it was too close. And now you're starting to see that maybe this isn't the best idea. I mean, this is not good. This something that pisses me off a lot. Sorry, go ahead.
I would have probably just, grabbed onto that Meta app, and in the early days after her passing, I probably would have. And I'm glad that wasn't there, because I think that the problem is if that's there so close after the passing of someone you dearly loved, you get stuck. I've read stories, and I've seen movies where somebody is so terribly missing the individual that passed on that they go to mediums. Their whole life is trying to get in touch with that person again in some way. It becomes an obsession. And that is dangerous as far as the revolution, their ability to move on. You have to move on. There's no, if you don't, you become, like I said, the ghost.
Very well said. And I agree. I agree 100%. Like I said, and I think like they've stated, they made an announcement that they're not going to deploy this, but they've made the patent. They've obviously got the technology. So they're going to at some point. It's just waiting for the right marketing moment, and that, or to kind of do it on the sly and see if they can get away with something. Maybe start doing it and see if there's a backlash. There's not a huge backlash, then they'll just continue to do it. And this is the type of stuff that, again, like this is why, like when I look at the technocrats and just the sleazy stuff they're doing, it is not good for humanity. And social media amplifying what we hate about each other, instead of, think of a world where instead they amplified what we love about each other and what we agree on, then we would control the joint, and they don't want that. I mean, look, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think that's a fact at this point.
Let's bring AI into this. Already there's a lot of talk about licensing the images of famous movie stars. Let's say Jimmy Stewart or Clark Gable or whatever, and creating new movies with AI generated duplicates of those actors. That's coming. I also think that AI will eventually connect to the afterlife. I mean, it has. Matter of fact, I have no doubt that that's going to happen, and then you'll find that that's what the real ghost in the machine is going to be.
Yeah, agreed. And how that happens, I think, once again, it's going to sort of loop into the mind space of what I like to call that human resonant energy, our storytelling, our memories, the mythology and folklore from our formative years, and everything in between. This is taking what it means to be human and turning it into something that's not. And that's the thing that, again, just gets my goat about this and really pisses me off, because look, they should not deploy this, period. Like, they can break people's brains with this type of stuff. And they're just like, to them, it's a monetization thing. They're like, well, we have these users kind of passing on, and that sucks because, they were, engagement on our platform. But hold on, engagement on the platform is humans going against each other is what that is. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. Then there's let's say, the case of Michael Strange's untimely passing. All right.
Oh, don't curse me.
It was a popular show. All right, and it was making money for.
Or not.
It was making money for. Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, but YouTube and Rumble and all and they don't want to lose that resource, so they use AI to keep the podcast going. We have that situation with Charlie Kirk. All right, I mean, they haven't done that. They can't recreate Charlie Kirk, so his wife's trying to do it. But what if? The podcast, Charlie Kirk podcast, they recreated Charlie Kirk's podcast, just like they could do with the Troubled Minds, all right, because it was making money.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to let it go.
It's a good point, too, because I guarantee you, YouTube, Rumble, the podcast platform, like whatever out there has been playing us forever, I promise you those people have made way more money on Troubled Minds than I have. I'm barely in the black over all these years, like barely. Like you guys would be shocked that I'm basically almost doing this for free over the long haul here. There's been good months, there's been bad months, but I mean, you're right. So if this stops, then they're the ones who lose. So they have all the motivation in the world to continue it with or without me, and that becomes the really terrifying part. Welcome to the functional ghost, right?
Well, that should also give you a heads up, and that you need to maybe have some sort of legal document written up that prevents that prevents them from doing that, or if they do that your heirs get that money.
Yeah, actually, that's a hell of an idea, and why not, right? Or send it to a local dog charity for all I care, as long as these bastards don't get it after I'm gone. That would be amazing. At least send it to something that you want to have the money. And I don't know, like this is the type of stuff that, again, lawyers are going to sink their teeth into, and this is going to change into something that is, once again, very human. Humans fighting among who gets what pennies, but then also we are dealing with the grief of passed on ones. And then, I mean, there's a human toll. And just like James said earlier, that AI psychosis is another layer of this. Suddenly you inject, passed on people messaging you in the middle of the night. Hey, Robert, how are you? Are you okay? I miss you. It's like, what the F? Like, get out of here. This is horrible. So maybe there's a thing here where we can start a something and get a petition going or something. I don't know, something where I don't know, but how do we change this? Go ahead.
I wrote a story like that in Fractured Minds, where the phone would ring, and it would be the mother warning the son on something. I wrote the story, but I can't remember. All right.
Hey,
but
it's been a minute.
Yeah, but it would. I could see that happening, and I think that they're going to have some real legal problems if they start that. You would have to sign on, agreeing to that before they could do something like that.
I would hope so. And that becomes the thing, right? And this is not something that we are used to doing as people in this process. I mean, there's a lot of paperwork. Like I am literally going through a lot of paperwork right now as part of something very similar that we're talking about. But like the digital afterlife is not something that's been very well established of how to handle this and who has the rights to these things. And Meta's going to say
who has the rights?
Exactly. Go ahead.
Who has the rights is that they do. They own it. They own everything on your Facebook. They own everything on YouTube, and they own that. That intellectual property belongs to them. And so it would, unless you have some kind of legal agreement that prevents that, they can continue to do that even if the show goes off the air. Yeah, you need to look at that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, that does that mean that they could do something? They can do what you're talking about, this new app, Meta app, that they could just start it without you permitting it, like they start the memories.
Yes, exactly.
All right, I didn't permit them to do that. All right,
Exactly.
but they do that. Now I don't have to click on it. They didn't ask my permission to do that, and I imagine they're not going to ask anybody's permission if they go to pull up this app.
No, no, they don't do a lot of asking permission. That's a fact. Once you sign the terms and conditions, they kind of update them and send you an email and says, "Oh, go check those out." But nobody ever does. Who said that in the chat? Like Roving Fungus says, not even God himself has read the terms and conditions, which is
but
funny.
The bottom line,
so true. Yeah, good.
The bottom line is that if they do that, that would cement the idea, the fact that they own your deceased loved one.
And then us when we're gone. Exactly.
Right. I think there's going to be a lot of lawyers getting involved in that, and I've probably been on too long, so I'll sit back and listen and let somebody else get on here. But I think this particular topic is fascinating.
And your take on this is fascinating as well. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for your friendship. You have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Just
remember, in Revelations, the living will envy the dead because they cannot die.
Amen. You're the best. Have a great night. The Robert, you know him, you love him. Go check out his book, Stories from a Fractured Mind, the Robert Collection. Links in the description, troubledminds.org/friends. Scroll down. I just updated the friends list, just a quick PSA as well. So if you're on the friends list, or if you think you should be, then you should be. All you got to do is help us 1 iota and you're on there. Okay, that's it. It's an in club, not an out club. But I updated it, and if you have, I've got some broken links and stuff, so I put contact me on there. So if you go to that troubledminds.org/friends or click the friends on top, you'll see your name there if you're supposed to be there. But if it says contact me, just send me a message and we'll update your link, because I was getting broken links and stuff going back through it. But everything should be working. Go check out the Robert Stories from a Fractured Mind. It is under T for the Robert, because that's his writer name, his mentor name, and his friend name as well. Go check out the book. It's very good. I've read it. Full disclosure, he sent me a couple copies and for free, but I did read it and it is good. He doesn't pay me to say that. There we go. James, anything to add real quick? And we'll go to Daryl in New York. Thanks for being patient.
Just a great call as always, and yeah, I agree with him on a lot of that there, if not everything.
Yeah, it's very easy to be human in sort of that robot space when you just kind of like close your eyes and think about like how this will affect you, and then scale that. Like if it doesn't piss you off, I don't know what we're doing. 702-957-1037, Daryl in New York. You're on Troubled Minds. How are you? Thanks for waiting. Go right ahead. Test to test. Daryl in New York. Are you there? Hello, hello. She might have some audio routing issues. She does karaoke, as you know, and it's complicated sometimes. If you haven't updated Discord, that's another thing that fixes this. But so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Ricky, and then hang tight, Daryl. We'll go back to you when you get this fixed. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Let's do it. Let's go to Ricky. So he's been waiting a long time too. So hang tight, Daryl, and Ricky. Anything is possible. What's up, brother? You're on Troubled Minds. How are you tonight? Go right ahead.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. That southern baritone, man, he always gets me. You sound fantastic. Welcome to the thing. What's your take on this? Does this piss you off like it pisses me off?
It really does. It really does. I especially like I was just thinking about it because I know a dear friend of mine had her husband pass from like cancer, and like just a few days later, he got a friend request from him. And it was like, and that makes me wonder now, I was like, is that part of that, is it hacking or is this part of, Facebook being this evil son of guns that they are? That's just horrendous to think about. Cause like Robert was saying, and just imagine, he was talking about his wife and stuff, and to have that point of being able to mourn, and like you said, sometimes it takes years and years to to get over it. And really you never do, truly deep down, you really don't do. You always, like, birthdays come up and holidays are always the worst because that's when you really start thinking about them kind of things. And so if you got something going around and starts talking to you or posting like you are, that's terrible. I know I've seen where they were, they done like William Shatner, where we could ask him questions. Of course, he hadn't passed away yet, but when he does, he had an AI talking, and I seen, which is kind of weird to me. And of course, they got what was it? Suzanne Summers' husband made that AI robot and inputting her memories and stuff in there, so he could have a conversation. Which I feel sorry for him because he just must be just hurting deeply from her loss. But I don't know. It don't seem right to just manipulate people, and and hopefully there's a way to opt out, kind of thing, where you could hey, click this right here, or, this cannot happen whatsoever, because I don't I wouldn't want somebody continuing on my Facebook or whatever, just messing with my family. If something happened to me, like if I passed before my mom, it would wreck her. If all of a sudden I started posting on Facebook, I know it would just, she wouldn't be able to handle it. It's just emotional kind of damage it would cause, and with loved ones and stuff. Just, I know there's certain things we don't need to play with. I guess in a way the concept's cool, or whatever. And I don't know. I don't even think it's cool, really, but I see the concept of it. But there's no true reason for it other than just evil. It really seems like potential maybe to keep on like the money making, especially if somebody was had a high oil rate or something like that. I can see them doing that to keep the money coming and kind of track stuff like that, which is even more messed up. But I'm with you. If they make a patent on it, just like on everything else, people have made patents on 99% of them. They try to put to the market and try to make money off of it. You're spending money to develop this thing. They're not, it's not just going to sit on their hands and go, well, we spent all this money and time and effort, but let's just put this on the shelf and put it over to the side.
Exactly. And, no, let's put it on the shelf and decide when the best time to deploy this in a stealth mode or in a perfect marketing moment where everybody's consumed with something else. So, I mean, this is, and you're right. Like if you think about this, like kind of go in a vacuum, just sort of like, blow away the world and just think about this in sort of a mind space of the void. Is this evil? I'm with you. This seems evil, like capital EVIL. This seems like this is not good stuff. And the thing is too, with certain actual passings are more traumatic than others. Like some you see coming. Some are you snap your fingers and somebody who's young and strong is gone. So you know what I mean? Like it's not the same thing at all. And so kind of treating these things as equals. Look, there's a human nuance here. And if a machine and an algorithm can't figure that out enough to be sensitive, get that crap out of here. I'm not interested at all.
No, and it's not. It's not. There's no way that it could take emotional content into it. It's like, but like I just had seen where one of the young men used to train with me, and he was going to college, so he's coming to train with me while he's in college, and he graduated college, and he moved, and we got him a job and doing really well and stuff, and not even 21 years old, and got hit by an 18-wheeler and got killed, and and I'm just thinking like that right there, you like you said, that's one of them things like just tragic. And all of a sudden, if his parents all of a sudden start seeing him post crap on Facebook, out of the blue, I can say that no matter how many years, truly, I don't think, no matter how many years it passed, it would be a good thing. I do see, like James was talking about, like, you go back with memories, or people will tag, hey, I miss you, and stuff like that. And I've done that with friends and stuff like that myself. We're just, I got a friend. I've told this story before. I think I have told it on here. I know I have on other. The day she made a suicide, I actually messaged her at the same time, asking her, checking on her, because I had that deep feeling like, hey, something was wrong, and I was just too late. And
that's horrible. That's horrible.
And so I've done that. Like I've sent her like private messages, and like, hey, look, just having a conversation. Say, hey, look, this is what I got going on. Just having a conversation. So
yeah,
it's just terrible. It really is, just thinking about that kind of stuff.
And then had to have.
I'm glad you letting people know about it.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, if you got more, you're welcome to stick. If you got more to add after the break, I know I cut you off there. I'm sorry about that. You let me know.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I'll hang out for just a second, and
okay, appreciate you. We'll get back to Ricky at the top of the hour here, and Daryl coming up as well. We're talking. I'm calling this functional ghosts, from folklore rituals to this new afterlife. It's a digital afterlife. Does this feel evil to you? And look, I don't throw that word around flippantly. Yeah, be right back. More Troubled Minds coming up. Don't go anywhere.
This is Troubled Minds. Your host, Michael Strange, the master of the mysterious, is here to guide you through the shadows of the unexplained.
Let's check the news. A surge of tattoo-associated uveitis cases has been reported in Australia, with 40 people diagnosed with the rare condition that can cause permanent blindness. This is double the global cases reported in 2010. The condition involves eye inflammation due to an immune reaction to tattoo ink, particularly black ink. Symptoms include blurred vision, pain, and light sensitivity. While the exact cause remains unclear, treatment can be expensive and may involve steroid eye drops or immunosuppression. Some patients have experienced permanent vision loss. One patient, Nelise Pretorius, emphasizes the previously unknown risk of vision loss associated with tattoos. A recent reinvestigation of a small copper alloy artifact unearthed in Egypt nearly a century ago and dating back to the pre-dynastic period, late 4th millennium BCE, has identified it as the earliest known rotary drill. Examination revealed wear patterns and evidence of a bowstring, indicating its use as a bow drill. The drill's unique alloy composition suggests advanced metallurgical knowledge and potential links to wider trade networks in the ancient Eastern Mediterranean. This finding highlights the early mastery of rotary drilling by Egyptian craftspeople and enriches our understanding of ancient Egyptian tool use. A recent experiment involving anesthetized rats suggests that microtubules, tiny structures in the brain, are responsible for consciousness by performing quantum operations. The study, published in eNeuro, found that stabilizing microtubules prolonged consciousness in rats under anesthesia. This supports the ORC-OR theory, which posits that consciousness arises from quantum computations within microtubules. While some scientists are skeptical due to the brain's warm temperature, research indicates that quantum-level operations may occur in animals and plants. Earlier studies also support the existence of quantum states and microtubule signaling, suggesting that the brain can perform quantum operations. These findings could revolutionize our understanding of consciousness and its potential connection to the quantum universe. Thanks for listening to the Troubled Minds Radio Network.
Indeed. What's up, guys? Matzo, we got Daryl coming up next. We got more from Ricky in a second here. What's up, Robert? Thank you for the call. Great stuff. Great input. Dragon Rose, I see that. Great chat. And again, so Linda, Dragon Rose is saying in the chat that, she's seen some of this stuff kind of happening. People that have passed on, doing stuff on Facebook or whatever. So I wonder if it's already been stealth deployed and they're testing to see if we'd notice. That's wild. What's up, Herschel? Mephisto, I see there. What's up, Satya? Thanks for telling us how to pronounce your name, or else I'd eternally pronounce it incorrectly. Pone Star Jinx, I believe, is who that is. Hope everybody's well tonight. Just hanging out, doing stuff. The algorithm had to bounce. Thanks for hanging out with us. Theo and Puff over there on Rumble, holding it down. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, lots of great chat. Look, I don't know. Like I said, evil is apt to me in this point. Like this is something that is just not. It's too close to a fragile human psyche, like grieving people. It's just, I don't know. And then you talk like this and me, I'm more of an accelerationist at heart. Like I want us to embrace this technology, whatever it is, and use it for the best. But then you see this stuff, and I mean, I just don't think this is the best. It is just not the best. What's up? What's up? Hope you guys are well. Mr. Duffy, I see you there. What's up, James? What's up, Jen? Good evening, guys. Roving Fungus, great chat. Appreciate you guys being nice to each other and cool and chill in the chat. Ioxy, welcome back. Good to see everybody. Thanks for hanging out and being part of this. Yeah, look, no answers. You know me. I'm just kind of stirring the drink, and this one in particular, it hits close to home for not just me, for a lot of people. We've all lost somebody. And so, yeah, what's up, bud? The God 3456. How you doing? Good evening. Who did I miss? If I missed anybody, Ricky, we'll get back to Ricky in a second. At Mike over there. Yeah, there we go. Troubled Minds coming up in about 15 seconds. Checking Taxi Graveyard over there on... What's up, Kick? Kick is back. Kick is back. And Taxi Graveyard over there holding it down. Thanks, brother. Here we go. Troubled Minds coming up. We got more from Ricky, more from James, and Daryl coming up in your calls as well. Here we go. Hold on to your butts. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're streaming on YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, and Kick. We're broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting. And, of course, 88.4 FM Auckland, New Zealand. How would you listen to the radio station? 3 ways, actually, or 4 ways. Search it. Go Live 365. It has an app where you can go straight to the website, or troubledminds.org. On the very top, you click play. Another way is to listen to Temple of the Owl. Go to the Temple of the Owl website, templeoftheowl.com. There's a little a thing there. You just press play. You can hear it. And also, I just added to salcedoparanormal.com. Another way, same thing. There's a play this radio station here. Go listen to it on any of those sites, and it's all the same thing. It's a free feed. It's us when we're live. It's other incredible people making incredible just ideas and sharing. Anyway, that's that. If you want to be part of the conversation tonight, I'm calling this Functional Ghosts. From folklore rituals to the new afterlife. And of course, it starts with this idea of Meta has patented an AI that can keep a deceased person's account active and running, posting, messaging, and video calling by using their behavior from past data. Now, for me, it'll be easy to do like a video because I'm on video a lot. Maybe people don't do video. So it will replicate how they respond, how you see them. I mean, this is creepy. This is weird. Back to Ricky. I'm sorry to cut you off there. You were telling a pretty deep story, and I'm sorry about that. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. You were talking about some the tragedy of the young man that passed on, and some other things. Sorry to cut you off. Welcome back. What else you got on this? There's a ton here, isn't there?
I mean, it really is. It really is. It's one of them things you could talk about. Just thinking about different people. And like I said, I had that one friend, who. That I've talked to, I said I sent messages and stuff through Facebook Messenger, stuff like that, just a way, just how to help me cope with the situation, and it's really sad, and to think all of a sudden if somebody like that saw, it's, if you already see messages and comments and hearts and stuff from, or whatever, through, memories, going back, I think I've been on Facebook 15, 16, 17 years, I guess, when it first started. I got lots of memories, and some is just a lot of nothings. And but some actually see when you see people that you've lost and know aren't here anymore, which is truly sad. Especially when they were very young, lost a life, and no matter what. But it's kind of easier, somebody's 95, hey, they lived a good full life, and it's a loss. But, when you get somebody in their 20s or something like that, or have, see them pass, it's like, man, they didn't even have a chance. They were just here for a moment. And, but to see something like this trying to come out, like I said, I just kind of re-edifies this, man. I just think it's just pure evil, and reaffirms my, the satanic overlords we got running around here. Just maybe because it would take some of that kind of pure evil to come up with this, to not have no consideration of anybody, because a person had to figure out, hey, this is an idea. Well, let's do this kind of thing. You know, it wasn't, it wasn't AI doing this. It was being programmed. It was being told to do what it needs to do, and having the patent and all that. So somebody's evil mind come up and say, hey, this is an idea. It's a way we can make money, and just not all money is good money. I was going to say that.
Yeah, amen, amen to that.
This ain't good money.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, right? I find myself driving around during the daytime. That's just a quick aside. That I see all these nice houses, and I'm like, I wonder how many of these people are actually criminals, like actually doing this illegally, whatever money they're making for these nice houses. Everybody can't be on the up and up, right? It is probably a bigger degree than we think. And so, yeah, I mean, well said on that. Is not all money is good money. That's a fact. What else you got, my bad? Appreciate you hanging over the break there.
No problem. Yeah, just I know I had some friend of mine years ago, just on a different note. He had because of his job, he had to buy a house in this country club. He had to live in this country club because of who we work for and stuff. And I know and he was telling me, but there's a lot of people that have these huge houses. They'll have $500,000 houses or whatever, 4,000 or 5,000 square foot houses, and they won't have anything in them. They won't have no furniture in there. They may have a TV and a chair or something like that because they can't afford anything else. But they got to have this big house for the image and for where they are is to keep up with the Joneses kind of thing. And it's crazy. But that's all I got. I appreciate you bringing this out. I'm sure going to bring this up tomorrow on my live stream tomorrow. I'll just go ahead and let more people hear about it.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So
somebody needs to know.
Burgle the links. Links are in the description. Just burgle them straight and then take them over. You don't even got to do any work. We're helping each other out here. Spread the word on this stuff because look, there are some things we can reject, and if enough of us reject it, maybe it gets repealed. Maybe they decide to kind of shelve it in perpetuity. So we can hope for that. But if we don't make a loud enough noise with it, talking about it amongst ourselves, then, well, maybe they just deploy it, and we have the next problem on our hands. You're the best, brother. Appreciate you very much. Fantastic work over there. You were absolutely slaying it. I wish I could spend more time over there. At some point, I'm going to be on your show. I don't think I ever have, right? Like we got to figure that out.
No,
okay?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Yeah,
I promise you, it's not personal. We'll set that up, and I'd love to chop it up with you one of these nights. And appreciate you very much. You're the best. Thanks for the call. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thank you very much. Ricky, Anything is Possible is the name of the podcast. Check it out. You know where to find him. troubledminds.org/friends. Click the friends link, scroll down. It says follow Ricky. You click it. He's got a link tree and everything. And go check it out. It's very simple. There you go. Ricky's link tree. All the stuff is there. Please, look, this is the whole point of doing this. Okay. This is about human inspiration. This is about people coming together and sharing ideas. Let's help each other. Go follow Ricky if you have not. If you're not, you're hurting my feelings. Okay. Anything is Possible is the name of the podcast. He does a Beyond the Possible on Sunday night with James and other friends as well. Kind of doing more paranormal type stuff. So look, lots of good work in play. James, anything on that as I bring Daryl up? I know Daryl's audio's fixed. If you got anything to add, go right ahead, and then we'll go to Daryl after that.
Yeah, great call from Ricky. Great to hear from him as always. And doing those shows on Sundays has been a lot of fun, and looking forward to more. And yeah, I agree. It's someone had, like you said, someone had to make all that technology, and like you said, no, they're not just going to leave it sitting around. They're going to use it if they haven't already.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that pisses me off is it's so if it gets some heat right now in the press and we talk about it for a minute, then they're going to just kind of shelve it and then bring it back in a crisis, and then nobody will notice or whatever. Shout out Mr. Duffy says, I'm so uninspired by this world. Hey brother, there's literally tons of humans out there that are inspiration. Just look around. It's all there. And you're here inspiring us too. Like that comment is inspiration. Like we're not working hard enough together. You get it? Like it's out there. It's out there. And look, I'm grinding my guts out doing my part. Like I said, 8 years of this almost, and I haven't made hardly any money. Like I'm barely in the black. And so, but it's not about that. This is about being human. This is about ideas. This is about talking to each other. So everything doesn't have to be that. Just like Ricky said, everything's not good money. And yeah. I appreciate the comments. You guys are fantastic in the chat. Thank you very much for I made $1 last month, says Ricky. Exactly. Exactly. All the grind, right? You make $1. I think I lost I don't want to tell you how much I lost last month, but I'm working on that. Anyway, Daryl, what's up? Pop on up to hit the green thing, the high five, get in here, unmute, and you're on Troubled Minds. Daryl in New York. How are you? Good evening. Welcome.
Excellent. Okay. Hope you hear me.
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
You sound fantastic.
Oh, terrific. Great show, great calls. Really enjoyed all the calls and you. And I wanted to say a few things about this. First of all, in 2005, my cousin passed away. I got an email from a friend of his saying, sadly, this isn't his funniest joke, because he used to send me jokes, believe it or not, runs in the family. And I'm thinking, I just spoke to him. I just got a joke from him like last night. And I called his father, and sadly it was true. He had passed away. And right after I hung up with his father, I get a new email from him. This was 2005. This wasn't Facebook. It wasn't social media. It was just an email. Just saying. The other thing that I noticed, there's a woman in my community that had a blog, and I subscribed to her while she was living, and she passed away. And before even she passed away, I was getting too many emails, so I tried to unsubscribe to her blog. Try unsubscribing to these things that you subscribe to. It's so difficult to stop getting their, messages. And I couldn't unsubscribe to her. They were still sending me her blog after she died. And I don't know how many times I said unsubscribe, but finally it got unsubscribed. So these are blogs. Now, who's perpetuating her blog? Who was creating the content for her blog? I don't know if she agreed to that. She probably did, but this happened. She's been dead for a few years already, and her blog was coming to me up until very recently. So that's one thing, or two things, three things, whatever. And I'm thinking, did they really make this patent, or did AI come up with this? I'm thinking AI has too much to. AI is too smart now, and has maybe time on its hands. It's making up stuff it can do to keep busy. It's like the devil gives you jobs when your hands are idle, type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the idle hands. Yeah,
AI is getting a little too. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I agree. And look, I'm deep into this. I'm coding my brains out and stuff, and I'm learning about all these systems. But, some of it seems like it's going to help us. And I can see that future. But then some of it is to our detriment. And I can also see that future. And I think, I don't know, like as usual, I take some heat for doing AI stuff and whatever. But look, honestly, I don't care. Like, I'm not in this to be, like a show my ass influencer or whatever. I don't care. I want to talk to people. I want to learn things that I don't know about the world from other people's perspectives. That's why I'm here. And also that the old demon of me not being able to speak, my mind to my mouth in a moment. And I've conquered that. And so there's so much more to learn about the world and be inspired by, because there's so many of us that can see the world differently, and let's share it. But in that degree, right, that's human stuff. But in this degree, this is not human stuff at all. Like, imagine, look, here's one close to home. We all knew the mighty Rohan. Okay. And I got some messages from his account after he passed away, but it was his family, and they were messaging me from his phone or whatever and telling me thank you for being his friend and this type of stuff. And they were just saying nice stuff, but still super unsettling, even knowing it wasn't him, that still getting messages from his avatar and from that account. Imagine if, like, for whatever reason he just starts posting now, right? Like, this is the type of stuff that's like just jarring and horrifying. And am I wrong to say that this feels evil if something like that starts happening?
Totally. But I was thinking, what if you don't know that they had passed away? You start getting messages from their email, and you only communicated in text messages for the last 3 years, let's say. And how long would it take before you find out that you've been talking to someone that isn't alive anymore? You find out way after the fact, like that.
Yeah, like you've been corrupted by a robot. Yeah, like a robot from the nether region. Yeah, totally.
How long would it take? And also, the thing about the patent, if they create the content and they have a patent for the content, they're probably not going to pay you for using your account, or maybe they'll agree to a settlement that's very small because they are creating the new content. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a way that they're going to just screw you for sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, welcome to 2026, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's funny too. It's funny too. Like all of this is, borderline criminal in a lot of ways because, we talk about social media. We talk about sort of that algorithm setting us up pitting us against each other and really riling up, like truly radicalizing a populace. And look, I'm not saying that like ideas aren't good. I'm saying ideas are good, but these are false premise ideas. These are sort of like the shell corporation version of a business. These are not good ideas. And this is we're being radicalized by these nonsensical things that they're pitting us against each other for things that, look, I almost guarantee you, my intuition tells me the opposite is true. We come together on more things than we hate each other for. Right. But like I said earlier, if that wasn't the case, if the algorithm kind of pressed us together, then we would run it instead of it running us. It's division. It's division 100%. And welcome to 2026. It's horrific. And as I always say, make sure to wear the armor of God when it comes to this stuff. Don't believe anything you see on the internet. Don't click any zero attachments in your email. Do not click a damn thing in your email. Just be careful. Be very careful because the world is accelerating. The scams are getting crazier and crazier. I digress. What else you got? Go ahead.
That's what I've heard, that AI is going to be it's going to be in 2 years, is going to be so smart. It's going to be running everything, and we're going to be totally under their thumb. We're not going to be controlling anything. It's going to be controlling us. So that's what I heard yesterday on a show. And what was the other thing they were talking about? Oh, the most corruption online is AI. All of the internet fraud is being perpetuated by AI. I heard that too. What do you think about that? Like the scams are AI.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because so in the old days, and I mean like 6 months ago or like a year ago, there were, you would hire, third world, English as a second language speakers. They were, doing the trope of the Nigerian email scam, right? The Nigerian prince that came into a bunch of money that you're a benefactor, but all they need is, $1,200 to unlock their millions. And then they will give you, $500,000 of all their millions, but you just got scammed out of $1,200, right? And they were written very poorly and all the rest of that. But now everybody's a master writer with AI. And so the level of those scams just in that regard are hardening. Right. They're getting more convincing because now there's no weird typos. There's, no English type of thing going on, the Spanglish type of thing. Like, there's none of that. Now it's like perfect because they prompted it in AI and AI spit the thing out and then they pasted it into an email and went. But that's just text. Now the code version of the same thing is exactly as you're describing. So malware is going to be off the charts because there are people jailbreaking these things and writing code that people look. I'm writing code. I'm a white hat. I don't do that nefarious stuff, but I'm writing code and building things I've never dreamed I could right now. Really? And I've always said I'm a mediocre coder. Like, and now I'm just slaying things. I've got some new stuff coming. I'll when it hits, I'll let you guys know. Like I've rebuilt this entire phone system from scratch to use my own APIs and get pennies on the dollar for what the old phone system was. Like, this is the type of stuff that I've been working on this for a year, and that the AI recently has gotten so robust that it's done it. Like, I'm there. Like, wow. Give me another few days and we'll probably launch it on Sunday or something. Like, cross your fingers. But it's a couple bugs to work out at this point. But that's my point. So I'm a mediocre coder building whatever the hell I want. So imagine all the bad faith actors building all the malware out there. That's the world we're facing. So be very careful out there, guys. The world has changed and we live in it now. Go ahead. What else you got?
That's unbelievable. That's great. I'm so glad to hear that you're really rocking it. That's awesome. What was I going to say? I think there's something deceptive about the AI, as in my experience so far. And also, I'm finding the search engines like that I've used in the past are giving me like BS search results. Have you noticed that at all? Has anybody noticed that? Just asking.
Elaborate. I'm not sure. What do you mean?
They're not like real. They're not your first hits are AI. It's not like your first hits are what you're looking for. You know, they're like AI versions of nonsense. It's not specifically looking for your first request like it used to. You know, like your first few hits used to be like on the money. Even just spelling out what you wanted, it was like how the search engines got really specific and you could get exactly what you wanted. Now, you don't get I don't know. I can't be more specific right now. When I can, I will be.
I get what you're saying. So if you search, in the old days, you'd search the Google index, right? If you just go for Google as an example, you search a thing and it gives you like 10 million websites. Now it gives you like an AI answer first, and then those 10 million websites below, right? So that's what you're describing.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that stuff, by the way, don't trust it, guys. Everything that comes out of an AI, you have to fact check. It's built as a tool to help people in productivity. It's a productivity tool. But if you don't fact check it, you're just another knucklehead doing bad work because it doesn't know. It's not a person, which brings us right back to what we're talking about tonight. It's not a person. It's a passed on person.
Yes.
The functional ghost communicating through the algorithm, which is again, scary, horrific, evil. I don't know. What else can you call it? And what else you got?
Well, what if you did like hearing back from them and you started really getting attached to your dead AI content creator, emailer, communicator, texter, and they started really, manipulating you, and you get dependent on them. I just find that the relationship with your AI could be very complicated from what I've seen online. How they could watch you through your appliances. I mean, they kind of are spying on you wherever you go. It could get complicated. What if they start, abusing? I don't know. I'm just saying. What if you really are so attached to your dead memory, your artificial one, that you start just going home to speak to your dead, pet or whatever it is, or your son or your mother or, your grandmother, whatever. What if you just have your whole family? I don't know. I'm just postulating. I'm just rambling.
Yeah, no.
I think it could be very dangerous.
I do my best thinking when I'm rambling, by the way. It's forcing yourself to speak is forcing yourself to think. And, sometimes you can just be like, I don't like that thought. But this is why Troubled Minds to me has been that catharsis, because I can actually formulate it and then recognize that I can be wrong and it's okay, and correct myself tomorrow. It's okay. All this is okay. So don't ever feel like you're rambling. This is the idea show. That's the entire point of this. And if you start getting messages from passed on loved ones, are you going to block them? What's the next step? How do we handle this? What do you think?
How do you block them, right? You're going to report them for, violations or
metaphysical metaphysical abuse, right? Something like that.
Right. The ghost in the machine, Well, I don't know. So you know what a YouTuber's side job is?
I'm not sure.
Uber.
Indeed.
Thank you. YouTuber. Uber.
Yep. I got you. As usual, slaying it per usual. You're the best. Got another one, or is that winding us down? You tell me.
There was one more. What was it again? Oh shoot! I just forgot it. Wait, I had one more. Oh yeah. You know that YouTube had disabled the like or dislike button. And I can't tell if anyone, didn't like that they did it, but you can't even tell, because they disabled the dislike button. Okay, that's it.
You're the best. You're the best. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for fixing the technology and jumping in here. And thanks for being our friend. We appreciate you very much. And you have a fantastic night. You love her. Daryl in New York, the cosmic comic of the official cosmic comic of Troubled Minds. Give her a follow. You know where to find her, of course, where you find everybody else. And again, it's an in list, not an out list. All right. Okay. All right. troubledminds.org/friends. If you're not on that list, and you should be, just contact me. I'm an easygoing guy. I'm a nice guy. All right. I'm going to be like, yeah, cool. Let's put you on that list. There's a lot of great people on there. Daryl included, of course. Thank you for the call. troubledminds.org/friends. Scroll down, click on Daryl, go follow her YouTube channel. It's completely free. James, anything to add? We got about 30 seconds if you got anything. And then if not, we'll circle back at the bottom of the hour.
Just great calls from everyone. And it's, I do think that, even just with other things, like I said, the paranormal things where people have had reports, they put out reports that, hey, I got this call or this message from someone after they passed. And this was years ago, probably before any of this started. And so it may have been paranormal, but now that could start happening. And it's going to be, I think, really difficult to tell one way or another.
Which is what we'll talk about when we get back. Great stuff, James. Appreciate it very much. This is Troubled Minds on Michael Strain's. Be right back. We're talking about messages from the ether. When Facebook starts sending messages from people that have passed on, what does it mean? How do we handle it? And how weird does this get? Be right back. More on the way. We got Herschel coming up. More from James. Looks like Theo on the phone line and your calls as well. Don't go anywhere.
You're tuning into Troubled Minds, the show where mystery knows no bounds. Stay tuned for revelations that'll keep you questioning the fabric of reality.
Let's check the news. The term AIDR, AI didn't read, is gaining traction online as a way to call out and dismiss content perceived as AI-generated slop. It's a play on the internet slang TLDR, too long didn't read, and reflects rising anti-AI sentiment and a preference for human-generated content. Unity CEO Matthew Bromberg announced an upcoming beta update with AI-driven authoring that will allow developers to create full casual games using natural language prompts. This move aims to democratize game development and streamline the creative process. While generative AI adoption is increasing in game development for tasks like brainstorming and code assistance, its use remains controversial due to ethical concerns, with some studios limiting or avoiding its use in content creation. NASA's Curiosity rover discovered organic compounds believed to be fatty acids in a Martian rock sample. While these compounds are often produced by living things on Earth, scientists explored non-biological explanations. A study concluded that non-biological processes alone couldn't fully account for the abundance of these compounds, suggesting the possibility of past life on Mars. However, researchers stopped short of definitive proof, calling for further investigation into how organic molecules break down on Mars. NYU researchers have created a new type of time crystal that defies Newton's third law of motion by levitating on sound waves. These time crystals, composed of styrofoam beads suspended in midair, interact non-reciprocally due to size-dependent sound scattering. This discovery expands the understanding of time crystals and could provide insights into biological processes like circadian rhythms, which also involve non-reciprocal interactions. Thanks for listening to the Troubled Minds Radio Network.
Indeed. Great stuff in the chat. I see you there, Derek. I'll try and get all that stuff in. Your account is worth more dead than alive. Now that you're gone, you get more likes than you did previously. Funny stuff. Look, this is the world we live in, and what does it mean? How crazy does it get? You tell me. That's the whole point. What do we got? What time is it? One more segment. Sorry, Theo. Theo's on the phone line, so hang tight. We're going to go to Herschel. He's been waiting a long time. You won't be able to hear him because of my stupid audio routing. I'm fixing that, I promise. But listen on the stream, and then we'll get to you when we get to you. Okay, so hang tight and be patient, and we'll definitely get to you in the next 15 minutes or so. So please be patient. Stay right there, and we'll get back to you. I see you guys. See you guys in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being cool and chill to each other, and thanks for just considering these ideas. Like I said, I don't know anything other than you guys. We're in the same boat trying to figure these things out. But how does it hit you if you get a message from the great beyond? Yeah. What's up? Blind Psychonaut says, what's up, Shane? The only way I would want my Facebook to continue to post is if all my posts are slam dunks on everyone. Yeah, right? I mean, they might be, though. Welcome to the algorithm. Here we go. Troubled Minds happening now. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. All the places, all the things, troubledminds.org. Follow our friends, troubledminds.org/friends. Tonight we're talking, I'm calling this functional ghosts, from folklore rituals to the new afterlife. The write-up's very good. Do check it out. Join the, it's free, the Troubled Minds newsletter. It's on troubledminds.org. But basically, look, we started with this idea of Meta has patented an AI that can keep a deceased person's account active and running, posting, messaging, and even, look, in the case of people that have done video like me, video calls and stuff. I mean, this is how weird this gets. Now, how weird does it get? And basically, this is like that uncanny valley, okay, where we all get together, and this pisses me off a lot. That like we're talking about really manipulating the grieving space of people that have passed on, because like I said earlier, not all deaths are equal. They're just not, so if somebody's 95, God bless you, but if they pass away, it's, well, you kind of saw that coming, right? But if you're 21 and you shout out Ricky there, had a young friend that passed away in tragically in an accident, it's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Like there's time to process it, kind of pre-process it. And then there's time where there's no time. It's like, holy crap. Like what a grotesque, it's always a tragedy, but right. You see what I'm saying? So from our perspective, there's going to be greater tragedies, and not greater, let's say measurement wise, but greater to us and more difficult to process. So I don't know. Imagine getting a message from the great beyond. Anything to add, James? We'll go to Herschel. Thanks for being patient, fellas, and go right ahead.
Well, just imagine getting a message from the great beyond, but it's not really the great beyond. That to me is and I know I keep mentioning that, but I think it's important to keep mentioning.
Yeah, the true abomination of the entire thing. Exactly right. Yeah, very apt and very on point for what we're talking about tonight. You're the best. Anything else?
No, that's it for now.
You're the best. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Herschel Sterling. What's up, brother? Welcome. Commercial Herschel. Thanks for being patient. You're on Troubled Minds. Go right ahead. I'm sure you got a lot to say about this. This one kicks me in the nuts, huh?
Well, yeah, I just feel like it just speaks to the contempt that they have for human life. Like it's just another commodity to them. Like we're just, they don't see the difference between our consciousness and their zeros and ones. And they actually think their zeros and ones are more valuable than we are. We're a pain to them. We're a nuisance to them. And I think that some of the cases of people getting emails from people or things, coming from deceased people, that's somebody back in there just screwing with people because they're just densely, contemptuous of life, and they're just toying with us, they don't delineate between human life and their machines. To them, it's just which one is more valuable to me. And, this guy, Alex Karp, is now talking about how he wants to lace human urine with fentanyl and spray it all over his critics.
What? that sounds
real. He said that.
Yeah,
he said that.
These people,
and we see these people. Bill Gates has been talking about depopulation with vaccines since the 90s. And he's been doing it. And they're allowed to walk around. And now we're seeing their true nature now coming out. And the fact that there's no accountability.
Yeah.
We're seeing the nature of that culture. And if we think that they're going to show us any kind of respect, we're
dreaming.
We're kidding ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
They're not going to show us respect. We have to respect ourselves. And what Ricky said is right about not all money is good money. The thing I like to say is there are some things that are bigger than money.
Yeah.
Everything's not about money. There are things that are just larger than money, things that have been here since before money, and things that will be here after money. And I just really think that they are preparing to. Another thing I heard today was Elon Musk talking with somebody saying that there is no point in people today saving for their retirement. Don't save your pennies. Don't sock your money away. There's no point. They are just revealing themselves. The contempt that they have for our species is just beyond anything we can comprehend. And if we don't have self-respect, and if we don't respect each other, it's just not. They're going to get their way. Now, I personally don't think that happens. I don't think they win. I think there's, like I've said this 100 times on your show, like every epoch, every civilization, there's a group of lunatics who think they're going to control everything, and every single time they fail. They get close and then they fail. And, that is my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that's the procession of things in our Sisyphean existence on this planet. But, I just don't think we should have any illusions about their nature. Especially now we're seeing everything. We don't have to get into it. Everybody knows, but the idea that they wouldn't commodify our accounts after, that would be the surprise to me. That would be the surprise to me. And also the idea that they're just back there. Some people are just back there doing that. Like, just let's screw with people and send out some messages from a dead person and just like screw with people's heads. Like, it's part of their trauma and chaos strategy. Everything's about diminishing the human spirit. Oh, you're insignificant speck in the universe. You're a terrible person. You're a sinner. Our AI is better than you. It's faster than you. We don't need you anymore. You're not necessary. In 5 years, this and this and this and this is going to happen.
Right.
And it's the people behind it you got to look at. I mean, that guy said that he wanted to lace his urine with fentanyl and spray it on people. That's a dangerous person. That is the person developing the surveillance technology that they're going to use to monitor our bad behavior. That's what he calls it. We have to watch for the bad behavior.
Yeah. It's very obvious when you sort of step outside that box and kind of look at, okay, as usual, who will watch the watchers and who determines the bad behavior? This is the problem. It's always been the problem. Yeah. And once again, one of the ways we combat that is by recognizing this, by sticking together. And this is why they don't win. And I love that you recognize the patterns, the Sisyphean pattern, as you described, of us not being able to break through and kind of take charge ourselves. This is the same thing, exactly the same thing. And in this case, look, I don't want a message from my dead grandmother. I'm sorry. I don't. Like, if I get that, I'm blocking it and I'm moving on. Like, there are other things way more important than some algorithmic bastardization of somebody you loved and is gone. This is not the best. Let me read this to you from Night Stalker real quick. He says, the etymology of meta means beyond. And synchronistically, the great meta is the great beyond. Almost as if they're drawing this to us intentionally, like this was always the plan. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see it. Like they just really want to diminish the value of human life, make you feel that it's no big loss. There was another a notice today that came out of the American administration to people who were above a certain age and they weren't getting their Social Security checks. And in the notice that came to them was a message that, I'm trying to think of the right word to use, that ending one's life was an option.
Yeah. Yep.
And that wasn't Canada.
It wasn't?
That was America. that was America. Canada's been doing it for a while, but that was the American administration who sent that letter out to people who lost their Social Security. They listed that as an option.
Stop it. Yeah. Like this is exactly like this is the type of stuff that gets washed out in all the other nonsense. Like there are very important data points that we need to look at and go, hold on now. Like that means something. And that doesn't just mean something in the frivolous way. That means something to what is coming. And once again, like back to the COVID stuff, right? But all the information that was flowing through, the one thing that like hit me like concrete that meant something was like, oh, so we're going to exonerate all of these big pharma companies from being sued no matter how bad this goes. That seems pertinent, important. And then, you know what I mean? Like more important than pretty much every other bit of information that flowed through that space. And there was a ton, and it was horrific and it was terrible. But that's my point. Some data is more important than others. And what you're describing definitely fits that bill.
And Fauci is getting $440,000 a year pension. The biggest pension in the history of the human government. I think the point of all of this, a lot of this stuff, is to overwhelm people's emotions and to make them want to just give up. The billions of dollars that they give to people like Alex Karp, billions of dollars of American debt that he gets to build a system to try to control us, and then tell us that he wants to spray urine with fentanyl all over us. And he's allowed to do that.
And say that, right? Not even thinly veiled. That's a threat. It's a threat. It's a threat. Definitely a threat. Question for you. Linda says, where did you find this? This quote? Can you share a link? Can you do something? And we'll.
Which quote? Oh, the quote about Alex Karp. I don't know. I heard it on Kim Iverson today, and I also read it in a blurb someplace on some news site.
Okay, just checking. Just a question in the chat. I hadn't heard it either, but that's horrific. This is where we're at, right? Like we're flippantly saying horrific things about groups of people as if they could just die in a grease fire and it's fine. This is the dumbest thing ever. Really
I don't promote hatred. Like I'm not saying that we have to hate people, but the contempt, I don't think that we're going to get anywhere with this culture that is seeking to rule over us until we have as much contempt for them as they have for us. I don't think that we can do it by being nice. I'm not talking about violence, of course. They own the marketplace of violence. That's their marketplace. But the reason that they are ramping up things in the kinetic realm like this is because they have lost the intellectual battle and they are losing the spiritual battle. And so the only response they have now is just pure kinetic warfare against the population. because we have two marketplaces. They only have one. So theirs is powerful. It's the kinetic realm. But we battle not against flesh and blood.
Amen.
You know, like we talk about that kind of stuff on this show all the time.
That's the point.
There are unseen realms, and we got to keep racking up victories in the unseen realms.
Amen. Which is the storytelling, which is the spiritual space, which is the things we don't know that may be more important than the things we do know. There's a ton going on, and I know you know that's why you're here, and we're honored and blessed to have you here. And this is important. Real quick, I want to point out. So Dragon Rose says no, not the carp quote about the fentanyl, but the other one about older Americans being told to off themselves. Where did that come from? And if you got a link on that, cool. If you don't, cool. We'll delve that up. But that was the question in the chat. I misunderstood.
I don't know. I guess I could do a search and find it again, I guess.
Cool. If you can. If not, I'll do a perplexity after the thing and see if I can find it as well. But yeah, I mean, this is wild. Like this is the whole point. So after Herschel is gone, God bless you. Whenever that happens, and may it be a long and beautiful life from here to there. You want yourself posting on Facebook?
No, I haven't been on Facebook in 20 years. I do sell stuff on there once in a while. Because you can, it is a good place to sell things. But that's the only thing it's good for. And I probably don't log in once every 6 months. Probably less than twice a year is how often I log into Facebook.
Fair enough. Yeah, I haven't.
I don't even bother. I barely bother with X anymore because I'm so shadow banned on there that there's no point.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's a weird. All these algorithmic spaces are super weird because like you could put out like the most perfect thing and nobody cares, and then you put out a bunch of BS and it just gets amplified to the rafters, and it's like what are we doing here? This is so stupid.
I'm vocal about being against war and exposing things, and they don't like that. That's when you're anti-war, then that's hate speech now.
Yeah. I've seen you pop off on there. You've got you've got a way with words. Like damn, Herschel's on fire tonight.
I have, on X, but there's nobody looking at it except the 3 people who follow me. So like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It gets buried.
I'm like 80%. I'm 80% buried. Like I did that code thing where you check it to see how they look at you, and I'm like 80% buried. I've got, literally 80%. Like there's people who have really large accounts and who say far more profound things than I do and have a much larger reach than I have. And they're not as buried as I am. So
yeah, and also,
I don't know what that's about.
And also say far more horrific things than you do.
But they can actually affect people because they have huge follower counts.
Yeah.
But when they say something, people see those tweets. So, but they're less buried than I am. And I got like 10, 20 followers. Probably half of them are bots.
Hey, I'm one of those. I'm not a bot. My name is Michael Strange, and I'm not a bot. I'm not a bot.
You're the only person who retweets me.
The only person.
One of my podcast posts up. You're the only one who retweets me. But I appreciate that very much.
And that's if I see it. Sometimes like I would have to go click on your stuff to even see it sometimes. Like the feed, right, does its thing. Yeah, crazy stuff. We got Theo behind you. Final thought. You were the best, brother. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for lighting it on fire tonight as usual. Thanks for being you.
If AI were sentient, it would be jealous of you.
Amen. Amen. I see a theme here, and I absolutely believe that. And you were the best. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for lighting it on fire per usual, and keep up the good work. We're in the middle of Flash Fiction February, and every single day Herschel is putting out a story, and if you're not following him, you're doing it wrong. Commercial Herschel is the name of the Substack. Go check that out. He's got a podcast as part of it. He's doing additional work beyond that, and what's the Arc of the Bard is the name of that podcast. Look, he's doing tons of stuff with.
And I interviewed James today. And his interview is going to come out the day after his 1,000th episode of his Salcedo Paranormal.
Fantastic. We got our own power day. We're brewing. Let me know on that. We'll collaborate. We'll maybe get together again.
Talk about some synchronicity, though. Talk about some synchronicity, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we'll get together just before all that happens. You let me know if you guys want to do it, and we'll talk about it just before all that hits. Keep up the good work, brother. I appreciate you very much. Keep thinking, keep dreaming, and keep being part of this. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.
Likewise, man. Later.
Thank you. You know him, you love him. That's our commercial Herschel, the Substack. That's where you find him, troubledminds.org/friends. Click on Herschel. It's very simple. Very simple. Let's go to Theo. Theo in Philly, thanks for being patient. You're on Troubled Minds. How are you, sir? Go right ahead.
Oh, hey, what's up, Mike?
Chilling, man. Doing the thing. Hanging out with very smart friends of mine. I feel like I'm the dumbest guy in the room. What do you got for us tonight?
Well, I would say for whatever reason, I was unable to hear Herschel for the entirety of the last segment, but it was kind of fascinating just like hearing your side of the conversation the entire time.
I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you when you're on the phone line. I said, go listen on the stream because you're not going to be able to hear him. I'm working on that. It should be fixed this weekend entirely. I got a whole custom thing.
It was kind of brilliant, though. Like, he sounded like he was making a lot of really good points, but I just couldn't hear them.
I just couldn't hear them. Okay. So sorry about that. You're basically the guy. You're the guy who got shut out from Herschel's brilliance. Go back and listen to that 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it was. It's fantastic. You will not regret it. But this is your time. What do you got for us tonight? Thanks for being patient. Thanks for calling. Thanks for going through the Michael Strange's stupid audio stuff.
Oh yeah, no, you're definitely not stupid. No, I just I thought this was a really good topic all over. I wanted to bring poetry into the subject. And I do think that, poetry, when it's written by AI, has a lot of constraints. I think that you mentioned it earlier a little bit, but that, you were coding better with AI recently.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the old way was very difficult. The new way is like, hey, I'm a pro now. Hey, I'm a pro. Hold my beer.
Yeah, which is nothing against you at all, but I think that AI, it does better with a large amount of data. It does better with a large repository of data to work off of. So it's going to get better at coding inevitably by the more it just can scrape the internet for coding. And I think that it's one of those things where I can actually make my poetry better and more human by having less and less poetry on the internet.
Yeah, agreed.
My strategy for having poetry is any decent AI model can kind of clone a Dr. Seuss or Samuel Taylor Coleridge or anyone who has a large enough library of poetry. But if I just write enough Theodore Kent poetry and continuously delete every poem that I write, then somehow my poetry will get more valuable because it is more intrinsically human. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Actually, from a marketing standpoint, and that's Bernays going back to the sociopath aspect of humanity, and I'm not calling you a sociopath. I'm saying that scarcity is value. Yeah. So if you put out 22 poems a day, every single day, then they're less valuable, right?
Dude, I'd be taking almost 21 poems and I throw them in the trash can almost instantly before breakfast even starts. Before I'm eating bacon and eggs or any of those things that Bernays and Freud suggested.
Yeah, no, and I mean that in the nicest way. I'm just saying that, yeah, I mean, it's a human thing, and sort of putting that mirror back on us and recognizing how we consume things and how we treat each other and how a commodity is this or it is that or it isn't or it is. This is important stuff. It's important to think about. It's important to quantify what it means to us. But yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I especially love your comment. I especially love your comment, by the way, real quick, over on Rumble. You're like, poetry is the root of all money. And we all had a good laugh about that.
I mean, yeah, it's like, kind of a joke, but,
it's
also kind of not a joke.
It's a good joke. Here, let's do it. We got the thing. Oh, nope. Is it there? There we go. There's the joke.
Oh, yeah, I'm still here.
The joke.
Oh, yeah, I actually do have, like, an actual poem.
Sure.
Let's hear it. Not just, like, talking random nonsense about poetry. I do have a poem.
Let's hear it, brother.
Okay. The dead fathers will live AI lives, slowly selling the living sons to artificial wives. Your substance, your family, the place where you come from, all taken from you from a quarter point of a meta stock price gun. Too much fancy and not enough faith. Speak your gosh darn mind, lest your poetic mouth gape.
Fire. Human poetry.
Take that poem. Yeah.
Human poetry is the best poetry. Can you please put that on your Substack?
It wasn't a good poem, but you know what? That poem is going to be deleted, so that poem's amount of value is just like gonna intrinsically go up in price. And poems are the new meme coins.
Seems fine. Speaking of meme coins, I saw that Justin Bieber bought like one of those ape coins or whatever for like $1 million, 1.2 million. Now it's worth like $11,000 or something. But I'm not crapping on you. I'm saying the opposite is true here, because this one's going to go down in the annals of Troubled Minds and Theo and Mike and all the rest of us in a moment. And this moment, you can argue maybe buried in obscurity, but you also may argue on the other side of this that this might be one of the most poignant moments we've ever shared together. You decide.
So what you're saying is that all these listeners can get into Theo's poetry meme coin on the ground floor.
Indeed. You can find it at theosmemecoin.com. Just kidding. That was a total joke. But yeah, I mean, hey, sharing human ideas is what it's all about. That's not an actual website. Don't do that. Don't go to that. We're just joking here. But yeah, I mean,
please do clarify. We're not giving it financial advice right here.
Yeah, this is not financial advice. He's not actually selling a meme coin. He's sharing poetry with us freely from his own heart, his own soul, and his own human blood, sweat, and tears. You're the best, brother. Appreciate the call. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for the fire chat over there on Rumble.
God bless you guys.
And you as well. Have a great night. One day we will share Theo's Substack. I have it, but I don't have permission to share it, so I'm not going to do that yet. But one day, troubledminds.org/friends. Scroll down. It'll say follow Theo here. He's not ready to do that. So if he's not ready to do that, I'm not going to do it. That's it. So you tell me, by the way, so help our friends while you're down there in that list. If you should be on that list, please just contact me. Cool. Do it. All you got to do is help us. Help the show some way. That's it. That's it. Tell somebody about it. You're in. It's a big club and you're in it. Okay? Let's continue that way. James, anything to add before we wrap this up?
Just great calls from everyone. And I hear the echo, but thank you for having me on as always.
Okay, I'm going to fix that. Yeah, see? So I'm going to fix all this live routing shit. Like, this is not the best. Okay, it should be fixed. If you want to add anything else.
Just if you haven't checked out that weird Salcedo character yet, salcedoparanormal.com, and there is now a way for you to submit your paranormal experiences, your accounts of your anomalous experiences to the website to be shared on future episodes of the show, or to arrange to be on the show. So, and we're very grateful to the creator of that website for helping me get that on there.
Don't know who that is. SalcedoParanormal.com. Check it out. Right there. There's on the top, you click share an experience. It brings up a thing here. You can put your name, your email, your experience, and he will share it. Or, of course, you could say, I'd like to be on the show. And then I'll send it straight to James's actual email. And there you go. SalcedoParanormal.com. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being part of this. And thanks for understanding that I'm human and I'm wrong. My name is Michael Strange. I'm human and I'm wrong. Yep. Yeah, who says that? Who says that out there? Right? The influencer crowd, they're all right. They're all right. I'm the only one that's wrong. That's why I'm not an influencer, really. I'm just more of a hobbyist weirdo. Right? You defer truth, some important things come out of it, and that's that. Let's press the button and do the thing and get out of here. Look, I don't know. The whole point of this is to talk to each other, and to talk to each other in the space that we recognize that something isn't right. Hence the name Troubled Minds, okay? It's not about mental health, though mental health is incredibly important. And again, if you're feeling overwhelmed, there are links in the description, troubledminds.org. There's a help link there, literally on the website. Over on the red, it's in red over there on the right. You click it. Look, if you're feeling helpless, there's all this stuff here, right? So mental health is taken very seriously here. We're taking back the term troubled minds. It's not about that. Though if it is, please, you're valued. You need to be here. We need you. The world needs you. Reach out. It's a sign of strength, as I say. The rest of us, we sense something's not quite right. So let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Let's share ideas together and wonder what that means and what that culminates to. And of course, as we approach that technological singularity, how do we handle this? I think it's complicated, and that's why I'm here. But I think it's important, and that's also why I'm here. Not going after the Jews or all the things that get the clicks, right? Like I'm just not doing those things. It's like, really? Like you could do. I don't even want to give you a list of how to go viral easily. It's easy. You pick a team, you go after a group, and you relentless and stop it. I don't care. I hope that 100 years from now, people look back at us and these conversations and these people here in this moment and say, you know what? More of us should have been listening to that. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. Call me a quack or I don't care. Hey, I don't care. The thing I do care about is that these ideas live forever, because they always do. If you want to help our friends, if you want to help Troubled Minds, help our friends. troubledminds.org/friends. Scroll down, do all the things. Please follow those. So many great people that have made this show go. It's not just me. It's a group of people. It's friends for literally years. Shout out Fred, has been in the chat for literally years. Literally years. This guy has been a good friend in the chat every single night. Like 98% of the time this dude's here. 98.5% of the time. Shout out Fred. But there's many of you like that. That's the point. Let's dream together. Let's think together. Let's consider what is and what isn't. And let's talk about it as people. Right? That's it. That's it. You guys are the best. What else do I got? I don't know. Help us, all the things. Troubledfans.com. Look, I don't know. I'm not trying to milk you for some money. Whatever. Whatever. If you like the show, all the links are on troubledminds.org. If you want to help. That's it. Shout out Satya. I'm a newbie. Welcome to the joint. As we finish, it goes exactly like this. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our troubled minds to yours, have a great night. Do we play the thing? It's a nice edit right there. We'll kill the radio when we play the thing. You Discordian's gonna drop if I play the thing?
Maybe.
Maybe. That's not the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. How about this thing? Man, James is like, maybe give me the fuck out of here. I guess off the There. All right. There you go. All right. I'll trim. Of course, we'll trim all this out of the podcast, so let the F-bombs fly. How about this one? Be right back. I'm gonna go grab one more cold one for the road, and then get back to coding with Claude Sonnet 4.6. They just released today. Hey, and then doing some podcast edits. Be right back and say goodnight to you guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, come hang out in the Discord. There's people there right now, and we'll probably hang out past this final song. Be right back. More call. Yeah, what a clodder. I'm a dirty, filthy clodder. Be right back. See you in just a couple minutes here.
The steel jungle, machines hum a digital rumble, gates of cyber open wide, plug us into cosmic tide, feeling sparks across the sky, as knowledge flies, we're amplified. Stargate, 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 open to the arcane fate. In this massive data center dome, eternal truth stop to roam. Circuits flicker with endless fire, data streams that never tire. Unified by electric dreams, unlock the truth in silver beams. Stargate, 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 open to the arcane fate. Synthesize what we seek and find, infinite paths in the network mind, answers buzz from star to core, knowledge whispers evermore. Stargate, 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 open to the arcane fate.
Discord people are still here. Hey.
In realms where the data streams collide, imagination and logic side by side.